That's why your inventory doesn't just effing disappear.
Yeah. I pay an additional 2% so that they don't make my inventory disappear.
What is it? God, I can't remember.
I don't know, but we're recording.
It's Return of the Parvo. That's what it is.
Hit it.
What? Welcome to May the Zoo Be With You's America's podcast. We're just going to keep losing more and more each week. I am, of course, joined by the man that is seemingly a fantastic husband, seemingly a wonderful father, seemingly a successful business owner, yet somehow has chased away every other podcast co-host up to this point. Louis DeGeorge.
Yeah, I'm working on you. It's just going to be me live streaming on Friday mornings soon.
I want to make sure you know this is more of a pity thing than anything at this point.
And I'm joined by the pity master himself, Josh.
Ooh, yeah, you think the intros are so easy.
I hate the intro. No, I don't. I have zero respect for the intro, and I have zero respect for the seat that the intro holds. That's what George doing the intro did to me. It provided me with zero respect for intros across the board.
Everyone should be ready. Louis playing hurt today. He's sick. So,
dude, I'm not sick anymore. But holy, so I was trying to think about it today. Did we do the podcast last week?
I don't remember.
We must have done the podcast last week because it would have gone live on the 2nd, right? And we would have recorded it on like Wednesday, and I must have been right about to get sick. I don't remember anything since
we did do the podcast last week. I talk about how sorcery cards they don't feel good to me. I think
it was Magic, the year Magic dies. Remember we kept talking about that. Anyway, I don't remember anything from the minute we recorded the podcast. We must have recorded on Thursday night. I went to the shop on Friday, and then I came home Friday night, and I was like, I was out, and I have been out since yesterday. Like, I am dead. I am gone.
Talking to you yesterday was rough. Your voice sounded like you were down for the count.
This is the second coming of me. This is I died, and now I'm back.
Only twice ever? You got 2 kids.
That was a joke.
Mine too.
I'm not Jesus. Anyway.
Oh, mine was an ejaculation choke.
Oh, that's good. That was a better joke.
Thanks.
Anyway, don't get flu A, everybody. It is not fun.
We had it in our house. It is not for the faint of heart.
So anyway, I'm better now.
Let's go. Roll the podcast, man.
We're talking about Lorwyn. It pumped while I was dying. It was fun to watch that. We did the sale to the Gold Wizards and did we'll talk about all that stuff.
Magic thought Louis was down for the count. They're like, it's time to be successful.
We're going to talk about TCG Player changing their fee structure.
I'm going to get help with my TCG Player support ticket on this podcast.
I will talk about that. Josh can
I'm getting support ticket help on this podcast. That's all we're talking about. Is if you're in the comments and you work for TCG Player, address my ticket. Thank you.
Josh can pretend like he cares about TCG Player.
I care about it functioning.
And I'm the one that can lose the affiliate code here. And then, we talked about it a little bit. We are going to very briefly, about the new Harry Potter TCG that was announced, because I do want to have I want to have a conversation about it. I don't necessarily want to have the conversation.
Spoiler alert: that conversation's gonna get political, and it's only gonna be.
No, it's not. Our conversation is not going to get political. And we got to talk a little bit about Lorcana. I think new Pokemon set. I don't know. Whatever we end up talking about is what we're going to end up talking about. So, let's talk about Lorwyn for most of the time.
Thank you. The other bozos are gone. We can talk about a real TCG.
Dude, Lorwyn turned into a real thing. Last week, boxes were sitting at 3. They were like 365, something like that. When I did my pre-orders and stuff like that. They're up to 450. A little uptick there after I bought boxes.
A $100 jump that just happened to coincide with the release of my video. I'm not saying I control the market. I'm just insinuating it.
Josh pumps the market. Do you hear that, TCG Player? He's getting more fees. He's getting you more fees. He's pumping your market.
You need more fees.
Yeah, so this is also coincides more importantly with spoiler season starting, Josh, and
Yes.
people actually
Fair.
seeing what the
Fair.
cards were, which we don't get spoilers for Magic.
Okay, I'm stopping you right there because
I don't want a
ever
spoiler for Magic.
every other Magic YouTuber has made the same comment. Do we want spoiler season or not? Because we just complain about perpetual spoiler season, and then we don't get a spoiler season. We complain that there's not enough time allocated to Lorwyn spoiler season. What do we want?
So hot take, I think there shouldn't be anything that's called spoiler season. I think Wizards should just dump everything all at once. Like, boom, here's your set. It's a set in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is. Just go for it. They don't need the hype cycle. Can you imagine the hype cycle that it would create for the content creators to have to like actually, go through it and not just make their here's my little card, everybody.
Oh, it would leak. Like, come on.
Yeah,
it would leak.
Fair.
Spoiler season seems fine. We've a lot of Magic sets. It's going to be constantly spoiler season. You know me. I just get irritated when we complain about one thing and then the other happens and we complain about that too. And it's
I never complained about spoiler season. I complain about the never-ending amount of sets, not about the spoil. I don't care about. I don't follow the spoiler season. The never-ending amount of sets is annoying. Wish it was 4 sets a year.
You wish it was 4 sets a year?
I wish it was 4 sets a year. I wish they didn't start spoiling the next set. Like, why are we getting spoilers for the superhero set? That's 3 sets from now.
Because it's a partnership with another massive company and they want to sell a ton of boxes.
Yeah, but
this is not hard.
It doesn't work that way.
It does.
Hype does not work that way.
It does.
I don't think so. I don't.
It does. It does.
Regardless.
People are already thinking about it. It's in the back of your mind. It's annoying you right now.
It hamstrings the sets now. So then when
why does it hamstring the sets now?
Because people are spending. The people only have so much money.
So they're saving to buy the big set that Wizards wants to make sure pumps and is successful.
That would work if they weren't always doing that. They are always doing this. So by the time superhero set comes out, you're going to have spoilers for the Hobbit out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that's going to take money from that thing too. It constantly does that.
This is where it's going to be interesting because arguably this year you have 2 sets that could be the biggest deal, right? You have 2 sets that could be this massive deal.
I disagree with that strongly.
You don't think that
it's just the Hobbit. Superhero,
right? But you don't think Wizards goes pitched Marvel be like, this set could be the biggest thing?
I don't know. I think they. I don't think they believe in it the way you think they believe it.
I think that's exactly how they pitch this set. I think that's how you land a company like Marvel saying you're going to be our premier thing. And if that's what they said to Marvel, they owe them one after Spider-Man.
We'll see. Let's talk about Lorwyn. Let's stop doing Wizards of the Coast and talk about Lorwyn. So what do you see that really made this set pump as a player and lover of the powerful cards?
Gosh, the fact that Commander players just screamed into the abyss over a card designed not for Commander made me so happy.
What'd they do? What was the card?
Oh, it's the Hexing Squelcher.
Yeah.
And it was, this is going to ruin Commander games. You know what this is going to do to speed mediation? I was like, you know what? Don't care. Cards aren't designed for Commander, baby. Suck it up.
How is that card not on Magic Spoiler? Hexing, right?
Yeah, Hexing Squelcher.
Why doesn't it pop up?
I don't know.
It doesn't pop up when I search Hex.
Despite my massive amounts of success, I don't control Magic Spoiler.
Got it. Dude, that artwork's sick.
Yeah. And listen, this card is incredible too. Like, we're not going to spend a ton of time on this. It's boring. The card is very good. It's also a very bold design space to say, hey, here's an in-universe Magic the Gathering set. We're going to just clearly push the power level of this and try to sell you some boxes.
Yeah.
To counteract the universes beyond stuff going on.
It's a rare too, which is impressive.
So I think that's underappreciated because I think it's going to do something for the price of this card. Instead of being a $70, $80, $90 card, it'll be a $45 card.
No Shot is $45.
You don't think so?
As a rare in a standard set. I love this. This is my favorite Josh Louis thing. All right, don't look at TCG Player. Put your hands up. Hands up. Hands up, you asshole. Put your hands up. Okay. What is the price of this? No, put your hands up. You're looking.
No, I'm looking at spoilers. I would screen share with you, but you made me pull up my W9 information.
What's the price of this card a month after release?
A month after release?
Yeah.
I think you got to go first this time. I went first last time.
You already said $45. So
no, that is not the price. You got to go first.
$13 for the base version. Base version of this card is $13.
1301. Scumbag Josh doing the Louis. I think it's more than $13. I think this card is a game changer. I agree.
I agree with that, but it's a rare. Like the amount of this card that's going to get opened is
sure, but like
astronomical.
I think like base, and it's not the same to compare it to a land. It's just one of the only things that comes to mind off the top of my head. But like base version triomes are like $19, $20. And those are
not a week after release though. Triomes they haven't seen a reprint. They haven't been like when Triomes first came out, they were like $78 cards.
I don't think so. I never bought base. I always bought this. It was one I decided to collect the special art version of. Yeah, so I didn't buy the base version, but I'm pretty sure the base version was more expensive than that.
I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure.
It's a long time ago too.
You're not right. I'm right.
Good thing Louis said so. We know how reliable you are when it comes to the price of products.
My counter argument to that is like Hexing Squelcher, though it's an amazingly good card, it still only fits in the niche that it exists in.
Same with Shouldred. Now Shouldred was a mythic, but still it only fits in that difference. Niche.
That's a big difference. Being a mythic's a huge difference.
In the world of collector booster boxes, not as much. It's not as much of a difference.
Right, but play booster boxes exist in Lorwyn Eclipsed. There's going to be a lot of play booster boxes sold. There's going to be a lot of play booster boxes open.
Every box sold. What's your point?
My point is that you can't have a $50 rare that you're getting. You're going to get this card in every other booster box.
Well, now it's $50. I said 1301. So
we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's a really interesting. Because you're right. We haven't seen a powerful rare like this in quite a while.
I mean, what Avatar Redirect Lightning base version is $9, and it's nowhere near the power level, right?
Is that a rare?
Yes.
I don't know what that is.
And again, I try to avoid comparing lands, right? Because comparing lands is tough, right? Lands are just so versatile, and everyone wants them all the time. So I don't know. I think you're undervaluing.
I might be undervalued.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Ice Hill Explorer is a rare out of Edge of Eternities. That's $20. And I know that this wasn't released yesterday, but there hasn't been like a ton of fluctuation on the price of this card.
I could just be wrong then. It might be the collector boxes not being opened, or the majority of rippers opening collector boxes. I don't know.
So there is something to that when you see the base version of a card and then the borderless and extended art a little closer, and then you have the super fancy version.
I should have specified the cheapest version. That's what I should.
I think the base version. I think it's safe to say the base version of this card in foil or non-foil will be the cheapest version.
Okay.
I think that's a fair assumption. I'd be surprised if the borderless version was the cheaper version.
I wonder what the most expensive rare from the last year is. I don't think there's any way to. Yeah.
It's an interesting question. You have to filter, go add all the sets to your filter, and then select rarity rare, and then you got to scroll until you stop losing some special versions and variations, etc.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of work to do on the podcast.
Yeah, it is a lot of work.
Somebody in the comment section, do the work for us. Let us know. And then comment section, let us know where we're gonna get Josh's $45 or my $13. Who's gonna be closer?
That is not what I said. I said $13.01. Also, in fairness, before the ban, Corey Steelcutter was, I think, like $20.
That was a good card.
Right? And Voice of Victory right now, I just listed this fancy version. Voice of Victory is also rare, and I think it's like $15 right now.
No, I'm definitely wrong on the 13 for sure. But you were
Okay.
also definitely wrong on the 45. That's
I was giving a variation difference, not declaring the price of the card. You brought that conversation up.
you said
Like,
okay. I don't want to
I
fight
said
about that.
that's the difference between a $45 card and having a $60, $70, even $80 card.
You said that the difference between a mythic and a rare was the difference. That's the difference you were talking about. Anyway, I don't think it's going to be a
40%.
I don't think it's going to be a $45 card. I do agree that it's going to be more than 13 now that we've seen other.
Well,
anyway,
I guess you're about to lose this bet.
The card,
that's really rough. That's rough, man. Listen,
sure. I lost the Lily bet too. So good thing we didn't bet anything this time.
I'm sick of taking
what's our
stuff.
Liliana at?
Not much. I just listed one. It's not good. And speaking of Liliana, there is a new Liliana. If you didn't see.
Oh, I think we're up on the Liliana. That Liliana.
Did you see new Liliana?
No, in this set,
yeah,
there's a new Liliana in this set too.
Yep.
Dang.
One, a white and a white. It's named Ajani Outland Chaperone. No, have you not read this card?
No.
It's inverted Liliana.
Oh, crazy. That's awesome. I don't know. Johnny just never does it for me. Anytime I see a Johnny card, I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm not a what are those called? Like
it seems too nice. You care too much.
The cats that are humans, I'm like, no. I'm not into MTG the furry crossovers.
Oh god. Is it it's in the set, it's all over the place. Kithkin,
is that what that is?
Yeah.
Not my I don't know. It's cool.
This is
Johnny's really also boring because he's like, oh, gain some life. Yay. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of boring.
It doesn't gain any life.
How is it a Johnny then? That's all a Johnny does.
Well, it's ultimate has some life gain out of it.
That's all he does.
Like Lily, you're never getting to the ultimate.
Right.
No, the takeaway here is this set is extremely powerful. The cards in this set are really, really good. Which we talked about it beforehand. How's this set going to do? Or is it going to be a successful set? It's going to need to have some powerful cards. And, we achieved that. We got there.
Yeah.
Now, is it going to be stable enough and not screw over a bunch of people with box prices or something crazy? That's the second bridge we need to cross.
I mean, it's definitely going to be an expensive set.
No, I mean, in the sense that like people are going to buy boxes at $140, $150, $160 for play boxes if they happen to climb up and don't go down, and then they're going to be $99 a week later or something like that, where people just feel bad about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think it'll be that quick for play boxes.
No, it won't be, but it could. That would be something that hurts.
Yeah, we have seen. I didn't get cut very much this set, but this set was really weird. You had to order boxes. Yeah, we had to have our orders for the set in like October. I mean, it was.
Now, was that coming off Spider-Man?
Yeah, it was like I think orders were due at like the same time. I don't remember if that was like an initial order. It was weird. They like bumped everything up. It was like a weird. So I mean, but the cuts were different this time around. For me, it was like I didn't get cut very hard on play boosters, but typically I'm ordering more too. So it's kind of because I didn't want to risk that early.
I'm upset by the price pump because for the first time in a long time for a Magic set, I wanted to open a collector case for me. Yeah. And it helps now that I'm doing the TCG Player store, so I feel safer to have an outlet to like list things at least. But I really did, and then the price spiked, and I was like, man, I was into it.
I think a lot of stores forgot that cost also went up on this.
Yes,
like the cost of these boxes from distribution or MSRP price went up almost. I think it was like 8% or something.
They were they're starting to approach Universes Beyond collector booster boxes,
which is what they want. They just want to make all Magic sets the same price as whatever they're charging for Universes Beyond, which is crazy.
Right.
Um,
So here's a better question.
Your
Where's
microphone's
this
doing weird
collector box
things.
at a month after release?
All right, we fixed it, everybody. There we go. Josh is fixed.
What were we talking about? Here's a more fun question for you.
Price
one month after release, what's this collector box cost?
That's a hard one. That's a really tough question. You never know this on these days.
What is it? What's it cost?
$420.
Nice. $420 and 69 cents.
Yeah.
I think we're looking at a $450 collector box still.
That's interesting. What makes you say that? I'm interested in the logic behind that. Other than me saying 420 and 450 is just slightly above.
No, that's not what I said. 450 was going to be my number regardless of what you said. So in fairness, there's no way to prove that, but that was my number. This is very reminiscent, in my opinion, of something like Bloomborough. It's got a wide range of people behind this set. You've got a lot of fans just excited for this for different reasons. And as much as we want to say everything crashed, Spider-Man killed everything, yada, 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 memory of $1,000 collector booster boxes, $800 collector booster box pre-orders are not that far off in our memories, right? And so while I think a 1 month post-release collector booster box costing $450 is a bit ridiculous, it seems like this set has all the ingredients. Now remember, not March of the Machine, Edge of Eternities, their collector booster box sat around $450 for a long time and then trickled down in price in the following months. It was a weird one because the set was so popular.
And then shot up now, $415.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, it's back to climbing. But you can tell me a world where this is a little more stable around that 450 number.
So I'll tell you why I think it goes down a little bit between kind of now and at the end of like this month is typically what happens at distro is we're going to get another wave of product. And that always comes at like if you want the boxes to be going up, that wave always comes at like the worst possible time for that, which is like where the singles prices are already super low. And so and the interest level has already weaned.
Well, a month after, we're a week away from the next set. Like,
yeah. And so I do think these boxes will be 450 again soon. I think, I mean, like I think they will in the coming year approach pretty good value. If you look at any of the good sets, right? Like Edge of Eternities, you mentioned Bloomborough, they are going to go that route. But I think it'll look more like Avatar, in my opinion. Where
I mean, and you're at 420, I'm at 450. We're having a discussion over $30. That's what, 7%. If I'm arguing for 100% of the price, you're arguing for 93%. Like we both agree it's going to be an expensive collector box.
Yeah, I do. It's going to be a successful one. I think the supply of this box too is I don't think it's like a super low supply product like Spider-Man was. Or like frankly what I'm hearing about TMNT is supply is less than Spider-Man is what I have heard.
People were hyped and psyched about TMNT, and recently my comment section has turned. My first TMNT video was all hype, all excitement. My comment section has since turned, my friend.
People
the hype and the excitement
don't want this stuff in their Magic, man. They don't want it.
The very first video I did, my first look video, was just nothing but hype, nothing but excitement. I think it's because we've seen that can fail now. It was all fun and games when a set like that can't fail. And then good old Spider-Man came around.
They don't want it. Yeah, this is gonna be a great set. I'm really excited about it. People keep asking me for more of it. We'll see. We'll see how pre-release goes. I think this is gonna be the biggest pre-release set of the year. I think this will be I don't know. I don't have any other than my store.
The Hobbits this year.
Oh, you're right. Other than the Hobbit, you're right about that. This will be the biggest. See, I want to say standard set is what I want to say, but you can't do that anymore.
I want to say that too.
All right, removing the Hobbit. This will be the biggest pre-release set of the year.
I still think Marvel's going to do better than you suggest. But
Yeah.
if at the end of the year you told me this was the biggest non-Harry Toad set, that wouldn't,
I
surprise me.
still think you underestimate the number of Magic pre-release people who typically go to Magic pre-release who will sit out a set that has superheroes in it
I
like that.
mean,
But
maybe, but also I could just be a little bit numb because I've been hearing people don't want this in their Magic for the longest time. We were hearing it about Lord of the Rings, and now we accept that as it's close enough because it's high fantasy. Like it wasn't at first. People didn't want it in their Magic, and now they're just okay with it. So it's just tough.
yeah, importantly, I want to say I'm not saying that people aren't going to buy it because I'm saying people who regularly attend Magic pre-releases, you're going to see the Magic pre-release number. I think Wizards is going to see it. Is my point. So we'll see.
Good. If Wizard sees it, we'll see it because we have ins at Wizards of the Coast. That's right, Wizards. Be scared.
I did want to talk briefly about prices of stuff though. Commander decks were also increased price. I think play boosters stayed the same. But if you're LGS, if you're like, oh man, that commander deck's more expensive than normal.
How,
Yep.
increased by how much though?
Like 8%. Yeah, across the board. Everything.
The commander deck increase annoys me. We've talked about this.
Well, they also removed the collector pack.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It annoys me. 2 commander decks annoys me. There's a lot of stuff about the commander situation right now that annoys me. So
yeah,
I'm not going to be the bastion of positivity I normally am about a Magic release. Like, why do we have 2 commander decks here? What are we doing?
You want 4?
Yeah. Yeah. You're telling me you wouldn't buy a deck set and play
because you're getting the theme deck set.
Yeah, you're not. Nobody's playing with those in the history of Magic the Gathering.
Magic thinks that too. They didn't print. They did. Those were so cut.
Yeah, they didn't do that in lieu of 4 commander decks. Also, if they did and they spent all that extra time designing their theme decks, they're idiots.
Dude, the fracture foils in the set look so cool. Like the artwork is just perfect for them.
You got a link?
Yeah, I'm linking it right now. The artwork is just so like it just fits the theme of the like sometimes the fracture foils are like, oh, that looks cool, but like the art behind it doesn't fit the fracture foiling. These fit really well.
Are you talking the winnowing?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. It's got that fantasy feel. It's got that fantasy vibe.
Yeah.
I like it. God, this set's just gonna be great. Why? What'd you do?
I'm still struggling. Still struggling.
Gross. Well, let's keep rolling then. What's our next topic?
We're talking about your fee structure on TCG Player.
No, we're not talking about my fee structure on TCG Player.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not talking about. No, we're talking about the fact that my TCG Player inventory just disappeared.
Yeah, I told you, you just got to message them.
Well, it shouldn't happen. That's insane.
Well, speaking of that, they raised their prices. This is the one that drives me nuts. This is such a sneaky way.
You know what else? Not to cut you off, but that just reminded me of that time we saw that pirate with the steering wheel sticking out of his pants.
What are you talking about?
It's driving me nuts.
Ha ha ha! Dad joke. The commission fee cap increased by 50%.
You're so mad about fees, you don't even want to laugh about that joke.
No.
I hate you right now. This is no fun.
I hate fees, man.
I know.
You know what really grinds my gears? Taking my money.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go off, King. I'm sorry.
Hold on. I want to start off this segment, this TCG Player segment. This podcast, this channel is sponsored by TCG Player. I don't know if you guys knew this. We have an affiliate link in the description of my videos. Every time you spend money on TCG Player, use my affiliate link, and it all comes right back to me. 3% of whatever you spend. It's a really good affiliate program, to be honest.
Pretty good affiliate program.
Yeah, there's people who spend some money, right? Like it's a good thing. So go support your local
Content
Go
creator.
support your local content creator and buy stuff on TCG Player.
Oh, that's what I think I should get. That's what I want to do. I want to be in your Gold Wizard program for doing this podcast.
You
That's
want to be
because
in my Gold Wizard program
for
for
doing
the
this podcast. I
Sure.
want to get access to the secret channels and the TCG player benefits. I want it all.
I think you do have access to all that.
I do.
stuff.
I just
Yeah.
I wanted to plug something else for you. I wanted to like toss you an alley to plug something else.
Sure. Yeah, you can also be a Gold Wizard and really support.
Join his Discord.
Anyway, so use my affiliate link. And if you're a Gold Wizard and you're using the affiliate link, holy moly, holy crap. Let me just tell you.
To be clear, the affiliate link costs you nothing.
No, it doesn't cost you anything.
And it benefits.
It does hurt
him.
TCG Player though. So if you hate TCG Player,
if you want to steal, if you want to get some get back for them taking my inventory down out of nowhere.
Anyway, they increased without increasing my affiliate link, by the way. They increased the fee cap from $50 to $75. For those of you who don't know, and there's a lot of people who don't know this, TCG Player places a cap on their fees. That cap does not include the credit card processing fee. So when you sell something, so let's pretend, I don't know, let's talk about something that's going astronomical. One Piece. Let's say we sold a One Piece case for
$6,500.
Let's say somebody sold a One Piece case for $6,500. Your maximum fees on that would be $50 last week. And then you would also have to pay it's like 2% or 3% or something like that for the credit card transaction fee. So your fees on that end up being somewhere around $210 or something. Whereas if you do the math and like 15% or 12% or whatever of the $6,000 would have been like $600, right? So it's great. It's awesome. And it really does. It's better than eBay. Like eBay does not have that cap. At least if it does, I'm doing something wrong because anytime I've ever sold an expensive thing on eBay, it's over the $50 fee thing. This is great. I don't really care about this going from $50 to $75. What I care about is that they changed it because that means it's probably going to go away, would be my gut. This is probably, in my opinion, this is a step from saying, hey, this is going to go away sometime.
So your fee is, what is your fee? 8% or something like that?
No.
Like how much do you have to sell to hit that $50 fee? What's the item have to sell for to hit that $50 fee?
I can't do that math. There's like typical seller fees on TCG Player for a level 4 account is now almost 11%.
A level 4 account.
Well, see, I'm a pro account, so I pay an additional like 1 or 2%.
Well, your inventory doesn't just effing disappear.
Yeah, I pay an additional 2% so that they don't make my inventory disappear.
I can't be a Gold Wizard to that program. I can't. No, I don't know if this means it's going away. It's a really cool tool for them in a world where cardboard and cases and sealed products and a lot of the things that they list starts to get really expensive, right? Because it incentivizes you to use them over something like eBay. We always say
they own eBay.
Yeah.
So I mean, eBay owns them. It doesn't make any sense.
No, but you want to keep. I would argue you want to keep the platform alive because eBay provides coverage in different areas, and TCG Player provides more coverage in different areas. The two don't conflict with each other as much as people like you and I would think. With most of the things you're buying on TCG Player, you're not going to eBay to buy.
I think I think that is true, minus the expensive things. Like you go to TCG Player, in my brain, most people go to TCG Player to buy the singles they need for their card deck.
Right.
Not to buy a case of a product. Because a lot of times people want to be able to see the case and not just see the stock image or whatever it says. But like from a seller perspective, I'm not incentivized at all to go to eBay and to sell this thing on eBay because I'm going to pay $600 more in fees.
But for a standard, let's say a case of collector booster boxes of whatever the next set is, at MSRP. So let's not take into account like a pumping market or something like that. That's well over $1,600, right?
Mhm.
At this point. So I think you're well past that fee at that point, and that's an item that I would think would sell more frequently, or collector boxes and bundles of 4. When I was tracking data and they weren't cutting off my access, we saw sales like that all the time. I don't think you get those same sales on eBay for new Magic sets. I think for older, expensive sets, collector, if I'm selling a Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle Earth collector case, I'm probably putting it on eBay. But for Lorwyn Eclipsed, I'm listing that case on TCG Player.
Okay, because you think that's where people go to see the prices.
Yes, I think if you're on eBay, you're looking for more of legacy collector items, and if you're on TCG Player, you're wanting the latest release. It's all over the TCG Player's front page, right? What do they advertise? This is what's next. This is what's new.
There's definitely a lot of truth to that. Yeah, that's fair.
So it doesn't seem to behoove them at all for it to go away. That being said, you could be right, because like, what do they care? You don't have anywhere else to go. They can scrape more money out of you, and you can't go anywhere.
And you let the cat out of the bag here. Like the fee things, I got this email and I was like, oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Keep pounding me in the face, TCG Player. I don't care.
That's a nice podcast way to say that.
No, I mean, like that's the reality. Is like I was mad for like a quarter of a second, and then I was like, well, I mean, what am I gonna do? Not use TCG Player?
Right.
Like it was Rudy. Rudy did a video recently where he was like, man, sometimes I think maybe I shouldn't sell this stuff to my patrons. Instead, I should just be selling stuff on TCG Player and just eating the fees. And it brought me to this place where I was like, man, even like Rudy's not who I'm talking about now, but if you look at some of the high end Magic sellers, what's the big one that's always at the events?
Ancestral.
No, Ancestral.
They sell old school stuff.
Yeah, even they have to have the largest customer base of vintage Magic buyers and sellers in the world, I would guess.
Yeah, and they're on TCG Player.
Those are the guys who are at every single Magic Con, every single whatever, buying cards or whatever. And even they are selling some cards on TCG Player. So like everybody is forced to use this thing. If we really want to get into it, I really wish, man, these are the days where I wish George was here because he actually knew things in these fields of like critical, like anyway. But this stuff mixed with what's going on at PSA right now, with the monopoly that they are trying to build in grading, it really is bringing a lot of light on the hobby. And I wonder if we're going to see some sort of like hobby wide, I don't know, people looking at the hobby a little bit closer to say stuff like this just doesn't work anymore.
And the problem is, when you say the hobby, and I know we're not supposed to use this phrase. It's like frowned upon, but it is a community, right? And the reason that it's community is because you need for this all to work and we're talking about it from a business standpoint, but for it all to work from a business standpoint, you need a volume of humans on both ends. We've seen what happens when you don't possess a volume of humans on both ends. And so TCG Player runs very little risk to even competition. You mentioned like PSA and the monopoly. PSA runs very little risk even without the people they're purchasing, because the community has accepted them as the certified grading company of choice. And that community mindset, for the whole hive mind to shift and accept something else as the primary, takes a lot of work. Yeah. Same thing with TCG Player. As I've peeked behind the curtain now and to try to cosplay George a little bit and add some of my professional expertise to the fold, you've peeked behind the curtain a little bit, and there's a ton of stuff where you're like, it's like this, but it doesn't have to be. It's not the best experience, and it could be better. But there's zero incentive to spend and allocate any kind of resources, time, effort, etc., to improving that, because you're not fending off any competition. You've built a moat, and the moat is the sellers and the customers. The moat that TCG Player has built is the economy. It is a self-sustaining economy that has no rival, and to create a rival would require such a shift in
Well,
community acceptance, it would be insane.
and this is where everybody goes to Mana Pool, which, like, I guess shout out to Mana Pool. Okay, I don't even have an affiliate link with Mana Pool. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, maybe they'll sponsor this podcast.
yeah, here's the shout out to Mana Pool. They are trying to do that, but here's my fear, and I'm going to remove the any chance of us ever getting a sponsorship from Mana Pool, because this is my
Oh, wait,
fear.
what? No, I
Yeah,
need
I'm gonna do it.
alternatives, man.
This is I don't care about the money. I care
He
about the
does not
truth.
speak for me.
I
Mana
care about the
Pool,
truth. Here's the
call
problem
me.
with something like Mana Pool.
I'm for
I
sale.
have zero faith that a company like Mana Pool, I don't know those people at all. I'm not talking anything about the people or whatever. But you develop
You know you're about to say something horrible now.
this thing, Mana Pool or whatever mayonnaise pool. You develop this thing, and then TCG Player sees you and says, "Uh-oh, they're getting 0.5% of the market share. All right, let's buy them." And they throw, I don't know, $1 million at Mayonnaise Pool. And all of a sudden, Mayonnaise Pool says, "Uh-oh, I can just sell for this amount of money and be done." And all of a sudden that place goes away. It just vanishes. And
So
that's the problem.
we talked about this with the way back when, years and years ago, with the inception of cardboard finance. With the idea was start here and then see if you can build up to the point of building a marketplace, right? And I've built versions of the marketplace and just never went live when there's risk and stuff there. But the end goal of that, and to be candid, to put our conversation on Front Street, the end goal of that was never. I was always open of, you can't replace TCG Player. However, the end goal could be to make them try to shift a little bit until they decide it's easier to buy you. So they'll shift in community favor a little bit until they just say, we're just throwing money at this problem, we're going to buy you, right? That's the biggest goal I think you can have for spinning up a competitor. You won't be able to change the game in one swing of the bat, but you will be able to get them to move.
And this is why I try to keep it to my opinions and thoughts to, like, the other sellers and buyers of cards out there. This is why I don't ever think about leaving TCG Player, because listen, like, I still remember the first time I played Magic, and like 4 hours after I played Magic, I said, "Hey, I'm gonna buy some cards. What should I do?" And somebody said, "Go to TCG Player." That was 16 years ago. 16 years ago, that was the statement.
I want to assure you, it looks like it's been longer.
That was the statement 16 years ago. It means the statement was that way 20 years ago. There's actually a really, really, really good video, Josh. I didn't send this to you. I apologize. I should have.
You're good.
I watched it while I was sick. Monkey Fight TCG did a video called "TCG has been making some changes." It's a 42-minute video about the history of TCG Player. Everybody should go watch it. Monkey Fight TCG Player has been making some changes. And he goes into the detail and the history. I don't know how accurate it is. He used a clip of me, which shout out to him. He's smart enough. He didn't put my face in it, which is great. Like, that's like, dude, pick the right clip. But
You got a clip of you without your face.
it was one of my hand videos.
Oh,
It was like I was using a whiteboard moving stuff around.
how'd you know it was your hands?
Well,
It's like hair.
I remember making the video. And he
Oh,
also asked if he could use it. But I actually forgot that he asked, and then somebody else sent me the video. It was like, "Hey, you made it in this video." I was like, "Oh, look at me! That's cool." A lot of people made it in the video, by the way. I'm only halfway through. Josh, you may have made it.
Rub it in.
You may have made it into the video.
I assure you, he didn't ask me, so I didn't make it in.
Sorry, buddy.
That's all right. I'm used to it.
I
get no respect from you or TCG Player.
Anyway, my point is, like, what I have done to avoid the TCG Player fees is to build the TCG Player fees into my rate of buying cards.
Yep.
So, like, when I see this change, I see, okay, I'm losing 0.5% more in my cards that I buy. That's not a game changer for me. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't anticipate that I would do mana pool if we were honestly, if as a store we had things a little bit more ironed out right now, um, and we could go a year and have things ironed out and not have turnover and not have moving stores and whatever, I would say to my staff, "Hey, let's take the inventory and the next 2 months, the new cards, let's just put them on
Sure.
mana pool and let's try out mana pool and see what it's going and keep our current inventory in TCG Player." I would try that stuff, but from a change direction, there's just so much attention on TCG Player. There's so many consumers. I
You're
don't know.
taking a risk.
Yeah.
You're taking a business. You're legitimately saying because there's no good way to cross list because you could just be you just get bought on both and be screwed.
Well, in TCG Player, I mean, there was another one. I don't think it was Mana Pool. There was another one that you logged in with your TCG account, and they would monitor the data for you and remove the cards when it sold. And TCG Player started banning stores for
Right.
breaching contract who did that.
Right. And listen, that makes sense.
I agree. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I get it.
But
The
it makes sense.
contract. Have you ever seen that South Park episode where Cartman signs the contract with Apple
Oh,
and it's the human centipede episode?
yeah. Yeah. Yes, yes, I have. Yes. Oh. Oh. What
It's
what
in the contract. Why did
what
you sign the
why did
contract?
you didn't read that? You didn't what should I eat? This vanilla paste or this cuttlefish and asparagus? Oh,
Uh,
no,
I I also want to say I think people forget that the fee structure isn't what you see, and you also have to pay credit card fees. I hear a lot of people who think TCG Player fees are like 11% or 10% or whatever. They're really like 13 to 14% after all the
right.
added credit card processing, whatever fees. Um,
So one of the reasons I wanted to sell on TCG Player this year is after going to the Pokemon thing and finding out that if you move and shake enough and meet the right tables, for slabs at least, you can generally get around 80%
yeah.
of market, which I thought that was insane.
Yep.
I was like, I can't believe you're willing
At,
to pay me,
at
and that's
big
not
card
trade.
shows for sure.
That's not
Y-
trade. That's cash
Yeah, and you can even get more than 80% for like
for a high end.
for high end. Some people will trade at full comps
Right.
for if you're like you have PSA 10 Mewtwo, right? Like something like that.
Right. I wanted to see, hey, after selling on TCG Player, and I want to spend a year doing it and then compile the year report, slap it into a data tool I'm starting working on, and be like, hey, how does this year look compared to market rates and stuff? It's already looking like you get less than 80%.
After
Do
shipping
Yeah.
and
So taking into account
fees.
shipping, taking into
Oh yeah.
account fees, and that to me was eye-opening. Like,
Yeah.
and some orders you're getting significantly less. There are butter zones where it's like, this is a good order, this is a good order. In the middle here, this is a bad order. I'm
Right.
selling a $22 card. That's a bad order. I don't want to sell a
Are
$22
you
card.
paying for shipping for your $22 card?
Right.
Yeah, you don't do that. Nobody does that anymore. Almost
Like,
everybody is shipping cards up to like almost $30 now with envelopes. I know that's crazy.
well, even so, either way, take $30. If a $4.50 shipping label on a $30 order is more than 10% off the
Right?
listed price right away. Like,
Yep.
that's a bam. And we're talking now TCG Player takes its 11.5% plus credit
Right.
card fees off the full amount too. I
Yep.
mean, you're kind of taking a hurt on these orders in the butter zone. But there's also that's where it gets kind of fun. There's ways to like game the system. It's on eBay, I'm gonna list cards that range from 25 to $45,
Hmm.
all go on eBay. They'll sell slower, but you'll get more squeeze out of the juice. On this lower end, it's all on TCG Player, and then above that's all on TCG Player.
That's interesting. And I've thought about doing that. The reason we don't do that is because you
You have a
generate.
business to run.
Huh?
You have a business to run. You can't be
The other side of that is the more inventory you have, the more you can charge for your inventory because of the mass price tool.
right.
Where people are or sorry, not the mass price tool, the
The
mass entry
optimization
tool.
tool. Yep.
Yeah, because you have more cards. So even though
Yep.
you're a little bit higher, people like the thing. So because we have so many cards, we can price our higher end cards a little bit more expensive to, they're taking 0.5%, right?
Right.
Extra 0.5. Well, we are able to raise our cards to 3% above market price or something like that.
Yeah. No,
Um,
and that's something that I won't have to contend with as a single guy shipping out of his basement. But like,
you're not a single guy. For
as
the
far as sorry, from a
for the ladies out there who just got a little
I meant
woo,
not a team
dude.
of people shipping.
They're the two girls that watch this podcast. We're just like,
I can assure you, my wife does not watch this podcast. And also, we're nesting. We're too busy to watch this podcast. Okay.
um, it's interesting. Like,
That did come off wrong. I want to be clear. I
yeah,
meant not a team of people shipping cards, single man shipping, only one dude shipping cards in basement.
the singles thing. I mean, the fee thing is interesting. I do think it's really interesting timing to raise their fees. Um, I don't know.
It's not. Someone just woke up one day. It was like, I think we could make some more money.
I mean, New Year makes sense, but like, there is a lot of competition happening right now. There's a lot of like conversation about the competition happening right now. This seems like a hey, we don't care. You know what I mean? Like, we're not worried about it.
Again, that's because the self-sustaining economy that is TCG single sales
Yeah.
is the moat.
Yeah.
That is the moat.
Yep.
And you're going to overcome that?
No.
Now, you know what it would take? It would take a smattering of content creators and game stores to all be on board. And these game stores would have to know. The problem is you'd have to tell the game stores, hey, you're going to take a hit for the first year and a half. It's going to suck. And no game store can sustain that.
So I really don't agree with that statement. Like, I don't think that they can. If you told a game store, hey, we'll give you no fees for a year. Okay, no fees. We will do this feeless for a year if you
Sure.
commit to our platform. As a game store, I hear that and I say, huh, no fees. That does sound pretty good.
Yeah, but no one buys your cards.
And they are selling cards. People are selling cards on Mana Pool. It's not like it's not happening.
Not like they are on TCG Player.
Yeah, but also the supply is less than on TCG Player. So if your price is the same as TCG Player and your supply is lower, but your demand is also lower, the card still ends up selling. Like, but here's the problem. If a bunch of sellers all of a sudden leave and go to TCG Player, that just for sellers like me who are going to stay on TCG Player, that just means there's less competition. Like, there's less people selling on TCG Player. That works out fine for most of the people on TCG Player. You're never going to take, even if you had a bunch of content creators out there, you're not going to take away the natural desire to TCG Player the card price and to buy your stuff on TCG Player.
Well, no, that I guess I should be clear. You need to create a viable ecosystem over there. So the mass influx of stores, content creators creates the ecosystem, because if you have people preaching the good word and you have stores that are incentivized with a wide enough inventory, you've incentivized sellers to buy, or buyers to buy somewhere else, and you're preaching to them about buying somewhere else. All that does is create a base where you can actually exist.
Yeah,
You
and
could
they do
could
exist. They do exist. They exist.
Now, you'd have to go from there. You have to find a way to you've incentivized stores. You have your base level of stores. You have to build up your inventory over time, and now you have to incentivize buyers. How can I break your habit of typing TCG Player into your browser window? Right, and that's a tough one. You got to target your new group of buyers. You got to target new players. You got to target users beyond fans.
Right. And I think that works for somebody like you. I think would be perfect. Mana
Right.
Pool would be perfect for a newer seller. Mana Pool would be perfect for a smaller kind of basement seller who's selling 30 orders a day, something like that.
But if you're selling the popular stuff, if you're trying to unload unpopular things, you need to reach a wide audience. Say, I have this.
That's fair. Yeah. I think where it completely collapses is a seller like us, like a store. You have to have the volume. When we buy a $40,000 collection. We need to be able to turn that inventory on and keep the rolling. And like I've got four employees really that rely on their those cards to be moved for work and for time and for effort. I
Right.
can't take that risk. That risk is not a, hey, do you want to take the risk of making 20% less this year or
Yep.
selling 20% less this year? That risk is, do you want to not be able to provide work? I'm not talking about money, pay my employees for a couple years if I want, right? Like I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about, do I have work for them to do? So when they come in, there's something for them to do. They're not just sitting around doing nothing. That's
Right.
what
And
drives me nuts. You know what I mean?
is
Like,
that self-sustaining? Yeah.
yeah.
Your employees, from what I've heard, are known for not working. That's what
No,
you always tell us. You always tell us how
no.
bad they are. So
That
every
is,
time the
I've
camera's
never
off,
once said a bad
especially
thing
that
about
Donald guy,
I have never once said a bad thing about my employees.
you have not.
I
That's true.
I only speak kindly about my
I
employees.
just wanted to trigger you.
Even when that's a lie, I would still lie to the
It's,
internet.
if you lied, I would have never known because you really don't say anything mean. And I'm like, you're the only game store in the world where
We're
everybody works all the time.
we're hiring, by the way, right? I just put out the job application.
All right. But what you just described is the ecosystem I was talking about.
Yeah,
That churn and burn,
yeah.
that's the ecosystem that is the moat. That was
Um,
a fun discussion. That was a lot more
dude,
fun than I thought it was gonna be.
I could talk about TCG player fees all day. By the way, you're 100% right. 80% is about the break-even point.
You remember when uh Channel Fireball was on TCG Player?
Remember when they tried to make the Channel Fireball tried to take over TCG Player?
What was the marketplace? What was it called?
They made Channel Fireball Marketplace.
No, no, I thought it had its own name.
It was called Channel Fireball Marketplace.
Was it? Okay,
Mhm.
fair enough.
And
I thought,
this was the same thing. They said, "Hey, I was here." They said, "Hey, come over to Channel Fireball. We have 5% fees."
yeah.
I was like, "Holy schniz, I can sell MetaZoo and only pay 5% fees? That means I can sell my MetaZoo pretty dang cheap. I can
Actually,
move
maybe
through
there
this
were a
crap."
ton of buyers. You were just selling MetaZoo.
Yeah. I sold a bunch of stuff. That was Brothers War, I think, era. We sold a bunch of our Brothers War there. We
No, I thought
sold
it was before that.
I don't think so. I don't remember.
I think we were still talking about that crappy card game when that thing came out.
Anyway, we sold a bunch of stuff on Channel Fireball Marketplace, and it was great. Getting 5% fees was fantastic. Frankly, Walmart Marketplace is the same thing right now. They're doing the same thing. They're giving stores lower fees. But then what happens, and what happened with Channel Fireball, they're like, oh, after like 3 months, they're like, oh, sorry, never mind, 11% fees. I was like, why am I selling here? Like, what's the point?
Did Walmart jump up to 11%?
No, no, no. I'm talking about Channel Fireball.
Oh, okay.
It's like,
Is
I'm doing
Walmart
this.
viable? Is inventory moving on Walmart? Should I be putting inventory on Walmart?
Your sealed product, like new sealed product, is
The
Walmart's going
ribs?
to, if there's something that competes with TCG Player for sealed product, it will be Walmart. They told me that they want to get into doing
I don't know where I'm gonna get any of that to sell.
well, that's like not the Walmart product. Some of it is. Like the thing for Walmart, you got to think about what's a grandma typing in to buy for their kid.
MetaZoo.
They're not typing in Fusion Strike. Although I think that Fusion Strike would also sell in Walmart. But
I can't sell my Fusion Strike on TCG Player. You know the fees I'd pay?
I think Walmart's the I said this a year ago, I think Walmart is the biggest potential for a TCG Player overtake. Because they have the infrastructure behind them to become and they see what eBay did. eBay saw in TCG Player a way to double down on eBay's foray into collectibles, which I believe is one of the very few things that after the Facebook marketplace stuff happened was still profitable for eBay. Basically what happened is Facebook marketplace came
Right.
out and now everybody that used to eBay things just sells it
Or
and goes,
Craigslist.
yeah, ghosts each other for them on Facebook marketplace. Um anyway, what are we talking about next? What's the next crap?
That Fusion Strike's almost at 1K.
Fusion Strike was at 1K. I bought a case of Fusion Strike for $6,000.
Is a case 8 boxes?
What's a Fusion Strike case going for? I bet a Fusion Strike case is still pretty close to $6,000. 7,500. Look at me, baby. I'm probably the last purchase. No.
How many is it? 8 boxes?
6 boxes. I think I actually bought it at 3,500. So
That's a
I was mostly
massive difference.
yeah. When I saw it,
Wild.
I think I traded for one. What happened is I bought one at 3,500 and then I traded for another one at $6,000. That's what really happened.
How much has Surging Sparks crashed?
I'm a big fan of Fusion Strike. Let me just tell you that I think Fusion Strike is an Evolving Skies level set.
That's why I haven't sold my boxes. I trust you.
My
I don't know why I
daughter,
trust you.
my daughter is a massive Fusion Strike fan. It is by far her favorite set.
Yeah, but part of that is probably just you.
No, it's because she was 4 when that set was out, and that was it was like the packs were like $3. You couldn't give it away.
I remember it was trash.
Yeah. So I'd be like, here, honey. She'd open like 4 or 5 packs. It was
The reason I have one more Fusion Strike box than I would otherwise have is because you told me when we were opening Pokemon boxes and chatting, don't open that one, it sucks.
yeah.
So I didn't open that set. So I have one more than I would have had otherwise.
Fuck, it's great. I want to talk about the new Pokemon set. Not the new one. The new one in 2 sets. We're gonna break our rule again. Didn't I post that somewhere? The new Pokemon set. I am pretty for the first time in a long time, I'm very, very not bullish on something. I don't even remember the word. That's how bullish I've been. What's so bearish? Can't even remember the animal. This set, Perfect Order, looks like it's going to be awful. It's going to if there's
dude, no way, really?
if there's
mean
a
it?
set this year that sells for 120 a box on TCG Player, it's Perfect Order. It's only got okay, so it's only got 6 special illustration rares, which is on the lower.
It's more chase, baby. What do you mean?
No,
It's more
that's
chase.
on the lower side.
Okay.
The sets that are usually very expensive have like I think 7 or 8, maybe even more.
Oh, is this a trainer focused set?
Well, the Pokemon that it's focused on is Meowth. Who cares about Meowth? It's
Jesse and James.
It's the bad guy's cat. Who cares about the bad guy's cat? Okay?
If you say another bad thing about Mr. Bigglesworth, I swear to God.
Starmie.
I swear
Hold
to
on. Hold on. Here's a Pokemon for you. Let's make a star, but it's purple and it has a red circle in the middle of it.
Hold on. You've named Pokemon I know so far, so we're off to a good start.
No one ever has been like, oh my gosh, you know what I pulled is a Starmie. Like nobody's ever done that.
The misty disrespect.
I don't know what that purple.
Absurd.
I don't know what that pink thing is. I think it might be Blissey, but don't quote me on that.
What did you just say?
Blissey. There's a Pokemon called Blissey.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that might be Blissey. Anyway, I don't even know what the Pokemon is, so I know it sucks.
Clefable.
It might be Clefable, but I don't think it is.
Mega Clefable.
Is that what it says?
Yeah, it's also not Starmie. It's a Mega Starmie, which is like
Doesn't
way
make
more
difference.
Starmie.
And then the last one is Zargard. Is that what that one is?
Yeah.
Does it say Zagard? Does it say that in there? I'm pretty sure it's Zagard. I guess this is a new. Anyway, my point is,
this looks like trash.
This one's gonna flop. This looks like
trash, dude.
And it's gonna be one of those things. It's gonna be bad. This set's gonna be really bad.
Do you think it's gonna do legitimate damage to the Pokemon secondary market?
No, I mean,
okay.
So here's the damage it will deal. Stores will overorder because they're just trying to, get their allocation or whatever. Sure. Pokemon's going to print the same amount of product. Importantly, there's also not a this is the next big Pokemon set. Between now and this set, between Phantasmal Flames and this set, there's only Ascended Heroes, which is like a specialty set, like a tiny small set.
Yeah.
So this is the next big Pokemon set. So like this has to be a success from a distribution side, they have to sell the boxes, right? Like from a Pokemon side, they have to print the boxes and make boxes. They're not going to print like 6 of these boxes. You know what I mean?
No, can we play devil's advocate for a second?
Of course. We can do
What if
whatever you want.
people are just so happy to be able to buy Pokemon at $150 a box again and open packs with their
Yeah,
kids that this set actually not only does well on release, but is remembered fondly because of the number of people that can experience the hobby again?
that's a listen, man. That's a great dream. That's that's a great dream.
Pokemon also doesn't ever sit at $150 a box. It's either
No.
$98 or $250. There's Pokemon being at MSRP, not a thing.
Yeah.
Not a thing.
There's going to be a lot. Listen, I'm all for the next time Pokemon is cheap again. I think there's a lot of wins from that in that perspective from a store. Like we need some normal for a while. Like I want to price a Pokemon card today and have that in my case in a week and it not be a complete loss or a home run gain. Like I just want that card to be the same price for like a little bit. Like I think that would be good for the whole world.
I just want to go back to adding Pokemon boxes to my shelf.
This will be a set you can do. I'll tell you, you want a case of this? I'll sell you a case of this right now. Let's go. Like
We'll talk price. I still got some.
I'm not actually doing that. I'm not taking your money this early. But
Wait, why wouldn't you take my money?
I don't like taking money this early for stuff.
I
Anyway.
just won't pay you.
Interesting set. There's gonna be some Zygarde fan in the comment section that hates me, by the way. They're gonna be like, this is the best set ever. Zygarde is the greatest Pokemon.
If this goes nuclear,
oh, that would be the miss of a century for me, for sure.
Well, it's just all bets are off. It's just like you were talking about South Park earlier. You remember that one where the music starts to sound like farts to Stan?
Yeah.
The Pokemon at that point could take a dump in a box and sell it to the community.
Hot take. But this is not going to happen. Pokemon Perfect Dark, Perfect Order will be the set that they make you buy more of in order to get the 30th anniversary set. You will have to buy more Perfect Order in order to get the 30th anniversary set. That's what Distro's going to do.
Wait, why is that a hot take? If this is going to be the worst set between now and then, what else would it be?
It doesn't matter how bad this set is. The market is still so hot for Pokemon. This will still be selling pretty significantly at MSRP on release, and it will be a little bit less for a while. But
well, the thing is that at MSRP too, you make so much money selling Pokemon. Like the margin on a Pokemon box at MSRP.
Yeah.
The problem is, like we've talked about, there's no like middle ground. It's either $90 or $250. Like it's risk reward.
Yeah. Anyway, that was my I just don't understand this set. Like I looked at this thing, I was like, uh-oh. I don't like any of that. I don't think anybody likes 2 of those 4 Pokemon.
If it's one of those sets that's available, I'll go back to what I was doing in this era with these boxes that became expensive. I'll buy at least a case and I'll stick it back there. And then a year and a half from now, I'll be like, oh yeah.
I'm a huge fan of that attitude towards Pokemon. I think it's really smart.
That was shout out my buddy at Treasure Hoard Games that started saddling me with Pokemon because he had to order it. And that's how it all began.
There was another topic we wanted to talk about. Was it just Lorcana? There's nothing to talk about with Sorcery. Nothing for Riftbound.
I made up my boxes. I opened 2 more boxes and got actual cards.
Oh, for Sorcery?
Actual hits. So,
good job.
Well, because I'm selling on TCG Player. So I'm like, I've listed them. I'm going to put Louis' theory to the test. I opened some actual cards that have been selling, which is nice.
Congrats.
If my inventory is back live, if it's Friday, who knows? Maybe it's not.
Go buy your Sorcery cards from Josh. That's
bro. I got card guard envelopes. I got padded mailers for expensive cards. I got a label printer. I got thermal labels slap on. Thanks.
I cannot believe you weren't like, hey Louis, can you send me some shipping materials?
You were sick. I don't like to bug you. I don't.
That's crazy.
Listen. I'm a self-substantial
I'm
business.
gonna off camera here. I'm gonna teach you some. I'm gonna hook you up.
I'm a joke of a business, but I'm a self-substantial
All right,
business.
let's talk about Lorcana set 11 winter spell. These enchanteds look really good. The Elsa's awesome.
Yes,
Elsa's really cool. All of
that's the
them
only
look
card
really
I've
good.
seen, and it does look good.
Go to the
Here's
link and hit over. There's 8 of them.
here's the question: Are people actually going to collect them? Because we've had enchanteds that have looked good.
So, listen, there's a lot of Lorcana people who have a binder of Lorcana that they collect. The problem isn't do people collect Lorcana? It's is collectors pushing the ecosystem of the game? And the answer to that is largely no. It is players pushing the ecosystem of the game.
Well, I wouldn't even say largely no. I'd say the imbalance is stark. Like there's not
Is that not
nearly
just a
enough.
different way to say largely no?
What?
Is that not just another way to say largely no?
I would just too. I want to put more emphasis on the fact that it's even bigger than largely no. It's not just like largely no. No, it's a
Yeah.
for every how many players? What is it? 1 to 100 collectors to players.
Yeah.
Like it's wild.
So I'll say this, and I didn't want to do it with Donald here, but we basically stopped selling like loose packs at the shop of Lorcana.
Is it just because there was no one buying?
Well,
Them?
it's just like, yeah, I mean, like nobody was walking in like, hey, do you have loose packs of Lorcana? So we have like, we'll have the newest set. We'll have loose packs of the newest set because it takes up
Right.
one little spot on our shelf rather than, having it out there. But
Gosh, the Tamatoa and the colors of the wind. It looks so good.
it does.
These enchanteds look really good.
They look like they're some sort of etched foiling type thing too, which is cool.
Yeah, it's also in the what I've been advocating for a long time. The enchanteds for each set start to take on their own flavor. So it's not just like for the longest time you didn't know what set an enchanted came from because they all were so homogenized.
Right.
Now it's each set has a unique look to the enchanteds. I like this. This is cool. I got to get me the Tamatoa.
All right. I'm gonna complain about Lorcana for 1 second.
Oh, Donald's not here. Complain is all. Get it out of your system.
These games have to figure out the balance of printing too much and not having supply after release. There's a balance that has to be figured out, and I don't know the answer because I just get paid to sell the cards, right? Like that's the answer. But like, man, they need to have like I think this is what Sorcery does. I think this is the right way to do it. If this is not what Sorcery does, then this is what they should do. They print more boxes and they have a stock of boxes ready. And when they see the secondary market hit a certain number, they either say, yes, we're going to send those boxes, or no, we're not going to send those boxes. And they help make sure it doesn't bombard the market or dry the market up. That's what Lorcana needs to be doing. Like, I haven't seen a restock of like I got a very light restock of Fabled recently.
Right. The set that everyone wants.
But the last set, like why are my reps not asking me if I want to buy any of the last set? Like I would buy some more of whatever I don't even know the name of the last set, whatever it was, because we're out of it. I think it was something else. Might be Whispers in the Well. Whispers in the Well. I
don't know.
Like I would buy more of that because we need it. We don't have any, but there's nothing available at distro. And then you look on. Like at some point, I should just go to secondary market and buy it for basically the same price as distro price. But
yeah, it's $100.
Yeah, it's just a weird.
Whispers in the Well is out at distro. I think you're burying the lead here.
No, there's no lead to bury. There's no demand, buddy. It's just.
Well, hold on. You're saying you want more. That's
I'm
demand.
not buying stuff on TCG Player to resell in my store.
No. There's no Whispers in the Well at distro.
I think. Why? Why are you making such a big deal about that? Is that the most recent set?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's not.
That to me would indicate that they have cutback print runs.
Yeah, I'm saying they severed print runs. There's no There's no
Oh,
reason.
you're saying they went,
I'm
okay, that's how you're
it-
correlating back. They went too far.
It's
Gotcha.
just feast or famine. Feast or famine. There's no middle ground. Like there's
Well,
no.
the famine's not working because it's $100 on TCG.
Well, that's fair too. Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. It's hard for like that. Like $100 is a weird price, right? Like if I buy a box on TCG Player for $100, I pay 107 after taxes and fees and shipping or whatever.
Sure.
Now I've got to sell that box for like what 135 to like basically break even after 3% credit card fees, and
I think that's
just,
a little high, but the point is, it would have to start to be an expensive box. Yeah.
right. And no one's going to buy it for 125, $35 when it's $100 on TCG. So this is a weird. If I can buy a distro for distro price, it makes sense to restock it.
Next, 3% fees, 107 after shipping. Let's call it 110. You're at what 113, 114, 113.30.
Yeah.
Yeah, and selling $115 box of Lorcana in store right now. It's just it's $8 more than we talked about buying on TCG Player, but for the consumer, it just feels worse. You're just like, why am I'm getting upcharged? It feels like. Anyway,
but those ones do look really good. I'm excited for the set. It looks cool.
Yeah, I don't understand why it's not as collected as I thought it would be and should be, but man, those look good.
Yeah.
Kind of want the Tamatoa.
All right, everyone.
I don't want it.
That's the podcast. Go subscribe to Josh's channel over at Hometown TCG and hit the button here and have yourselves a great day. Remember to be kind to the people around you. Oh, sorry. And may the soup be with you.
And also with you and whatever that stroke was.
I forgot my words.